This house is about making these bonds, making these relationships with the context, with oneself, with the material, with each other, with your family, with the village. घर असावे घरासारखे, नकोत नुसत्या भिंती. इथे असावा प्रेम जिव्हाळा, नकोत नुसती नाती. त्या शब्दांना अर्थ असावा, नकोत नुसती वाणी. सूर जुळावे परस्परांचे, नकोत नुसती गाणी. My name is Shardul Patil. I am the co-founder of the firm Design Jatra along with Pratik Dharmer and Vinita Kaur Chiragia. We believe in sustainable architecture not just by the virtue of its material, but how architecture interacts with communities that build it, how architecture interacts with the communities that it sits in, how architecture can be a catalyst for development of all of these things. The project is located on the Upper Sahyadri. It's in the Trambak taluka of Nashik district. It is named Terra by the clients, Taral and Punita Nagda. They both are doctors and ardent practitioners of sustainability themselves. Behind is the Anjaneri Hills, which are culturally very, very important, mythologically also very, very important. The lake behind is Upper Vaitarna Lake, which is a reservoir which provides water to cities like Mumbai, Nashik, Ahmednagar. And the forest around is a moist deciduous forest. We were really inspired by the nature and the landscape around us, and we wanted to capture the essence of all of this in the structure. So the site is trapezoidal shape. It actually extends on that side as a forest and has a waterfront on the eastern edge. Southern side, the contours are extremely close together. We had a forest which we sort of have retained. There was a stream here which originated with a spring. There is a natural spring. So basically this area is like the forest area. We most naturally decided to build here where the slope were gentler and there was less vegetation. The only vegetation that was near our site was this one that you see here. These spaces were amazingly active and we just wanted to conserve them. We had these many small pockets which we could landscape the way we wanted to. Even though there are certain species that are introduced, we didn't want them to take over in any way. Plan was pretty simple because we had a very strict requirement from the client that it had to be wheelchair friendly. So basically the house plan is divided in 3 parts, and we had the lake views on the east. One would enter the house in 2 ways. One is this way and one is this way. This way is the wheelchair entry. When you are entering from here, you are going up the contour and then you are going to the veranda and then you are entering the space. Central space is the core of the house, and we wanted this space to be a very light, open, porous space. If you opened all the windows here, this space becomes like a fully open space. The master bedroom is more sort of towards the forest. When we designed this, we decided that we will not go beyond the stream because that was the most ecologically sensitive point. When somebody sleeps here, we wanted that someone to hear the sound of the stream. If you see, the bedroom inspires a lot of activities which are very, very private and very, very intimate to these guys. For example, the balcony becomes a space for yoga. The bay windows in both the bedrooms are east facing. You can also sleep on them, put your feet on the other side and sit, put your feet on this side and sit. The attic becomes a very cozy space during winter nights, and it was intended to be a double height for that reason. A lot of the hot air is in the top part and the bottom part remains cool. On the other side is the bedroom, which is more community. So the landscaped area here is like a large platform where a lot of people visit. You can interact with them. Even the veranda here has a large seating here and here. The symmetry in the plan just helps the whole thing. Like if you are in the attic space, if all your windows are open, then you can see through and through. You can also stand on the attic and then look at the bedroom, and from the bedroom to the attic. Somebody gives any instruction to me from that bedroom, I can hear it in this bedroom. The idea of privacy is distorted here because the house is not meant for that. The house is meant to be with people. The house is meant to be bonded with each other. Along the veranda, in the front veranda, there are these lower platforms which sort of become entertainment spaces, spaces to do yoga, spaces to have parties. From here is the access to the vault. The vault came due to the virtue of the slope, because the slope was so steep that we had a space below our veranda to have this vault.
कमानीमध्ये आहे ना विटा पूर्ण रचून घेतल्या, त्याचे डिझाईन काढून घेतली वरतून, मग नंतर आपण बांधकाम चालू केलं. ते कमान आम्ही बनवायचो पण इतकी मोठी नाही.
We have a very long span. This is almost 16 feet. And we had decided that we'll not use trusses. So this is a simply supported system. You will see there are a lot of scarf joints in the structure. Basically tension joints which enable us to go long span with these kind of timber.
जॉइनरी खाली बनवले आपण, ते उचलायला आपल्याला खूप वजन होते आणि आम्ही परांची बांधलेली बांबूची बनवून आणि असे हळूहळू चढवत वरती चढवले.
The rafters are a mix of dhavda and jamun wood. As a practice, we believe in using native woods because these woods and the art of assembling these woods into roofs is being lost. To establish this flat wheelchair friendly plane, we had to do cut fill over here, and because of that cut fill we had to make several retention walls without using cement and dry stack stone masonry. Stone masons here are really good at doing stonework. The upper Vaitarna dam, when it was built, these masons got trained in very good stonework which could retain water of so much capacity. The backyard is more of a functional area where you have the kitchen garden here, so most of your processing would happen here. So this was imagined to be more of a functional space for the family. Apart from that, things like the permaculture belt, the kitchen garden, all these things are adding to the functionality. The reed bed and the grey water treatment system, everything is an element of landscape and everything adds to the visuals of the site. That was the intention of having this kind of landscape around the site. The soul of the property, which is earth, we wanted mud floors.
गोबर का फ्लोरिंग बनाकर और साइड से बॉर्डर दिलाए हैं ताकि ठंडा रहने के लिए, सर ऐसे बता रहे थे मुझे.
Cob also came as a requirement from the clients, and they really wanted to have a cob structure because it allows participation of so many entities. So all the cob work over here is built by the clients, by us, by volunteers and the masons. Cob walls are such a beautiful element and such an opportunity to create inbuilt furniture. Because of that, what happens is you end up saving a lot of floor space according to us. And this element of having really thick walls, it's like just a hug around you all the time. When you're in the room, it's like brilliant, right? And limeplasters. All these are like humidity regulators, and we've really felt the difference. The entire house we've designed around certain surprises because the client wanted like a surprise element. Like you should not be able to experience the house in one go. First go, you will not notice that there is a place to go up. If you come here, you will see that there's a bathroom, but when you go in the bathroom, you'll not know that there's an open bathroom over there. So the bathroom sequence is also like a dry bathroom, wet bathroom, and then there's an open bathroom which leads out to the natural spring which has the plunge pool. For us to take the services from the behind of the structure by the natural slope of the land was kind of tricky. So we had to make this particular wall really thick. So the entire services of the house goes through this wall. It's a 4 feet thick wall. And hence, because it was such a thick wall, we've carved out a staircase within this wall. And this is a feature which is seen in the traditional houses of the region. One very special feature which they added is that you will see a flower which is known as silver coxcomb in Marathi, called as kurudu, which is omnipresent on the site. So they wanted this to be represented in the structures. The masons took up this challenge, they made motifs of it, they made sculptures of it, and then they replicated the essence of this flower in the entire structure. Most of the accessories in the house, that includes shower curtains, that includes curtain rods, everything is like the client has crafted them, and they have been using local material, and they still keep doing it. Like every time I come, there's something new. We use local material, we use local labor, and because of a lot of people and clients themselves having very good connections, we could do the project, continue the project even in COVID.
मग ते कसं आहे, आता ओळख होती माझी भरपूर ठिकाणी, त्याच्यामुळे मटेरियल भेटलं आपल्याला.
After every day's work, us and the laborers would all go for a dip, and we would have really nice time. Clients themselves built a raft, and they would go on leisure trails on the lake. And it's not just about the visuals, but it's also about the utility and the leisure of the lake that was important. But the visuals itself, like, it's an element which is alive. Like, with the sunrise, the color is different. With the afternoon, the color is different. The evening, the color is different. So it's like an animal which we needed to tame, you know. Different colors, different levels, different kind of visuals. The landscape was the hero of the site, the view was the hero of the site, and we didn't want the structure to shout out. And that is also where clients' input came in picture, because especially Punita would always keep the whole project grounded, saying that, are we going overboard? Is the house going to look huge? And yeah, we're really happy that now it sits on the terrain the way it sits, and it doesn't really overpower immediately.
सिमेंटपेक्षा मला तरी बरं वाटतं ते.